Hi friends, it's Miss Vineyard, and guess what? I have a book for you today. Today's book is a book that's nonfiction. Do you know what nonfiction is? That means that it's real, it's true. And one clue that gives away that the book is nonfiction are by the pictures. Most of the time, nonfiction books have real pictures. Not always, but a lot of the time they do. And look, that's a real picture, isn't it? That's real shoes on a person, a real picture of the dirt, and a real worm in the dirt. And the title of this book is called "It's a Good Thing There Are Earthworms." Do you see that worm? There it is. Yeah. It's a Good Thing There Are Earthworms, and it's written by Jody Shepard. Another clue that it's a true nonfiction book is that it has a table of contents. And a table of contents helps you know what page to find different information on. If it's a fiction book, it's usually like a storybook or a picture book, and they don't always have table of contents. Sometimes they do if it's a chapter book, but not always. But most nonfiction books have a table of contents as well. Not always, but many times. It's a good thing. Some people think earthworms are just garden pests. Others think these creepy crawlies are just plain yucky. But it's a good thing there are earthworms. Have you ever thought of it that way? Earthworms help plants grow as they tunnel through dirt. As they dig, the earthworm eats dead plants, seeds, roots, leaves, and dirt. They turn them into waste called pellets. Pellets make the soil extra healthy. Sometimes it's called millet. Earthworms eat only pointy leaves. No one knows why. They don't eat leaves that aren't pointy. The earthworm's tunnels loosen the soil. Air and water come to the loose soil and help plants grow. Earthworms are also food for birds, frogs, and other animals. A robin is feeding a worm to her baby chicks. Look at that. That baby's like, feed me, mommy, feed me, feed me. Earthworm bodies. Earthworms have no bones and no legs. These useful critters get around by wiggling. Special rings around their body let them move and wiggle. See that? These arrows are pointing to their rings. They're like segments or rings. To move, first the worms stretch out long and thin. Then they squeeze up short and fat. Bristles on their body help them grip the soil as they crawl. Can you wiggle like an earthworm? See how it's stretched out longer and then it scoots back closer together, right? And that's how it moves back and forth. Earthworms have tiny brains. They have no eyes and no ears. They do not have lungs either. Do you know what we use our lungs for? Breathing. That's what we breathe. And if we get a lung infection, we might be coughing. Yeah. They breathe air through their skin. We don't breathe air through our skin, do we? Our skin protects the rest of our organs. Earthworms have mouths, but no teeth. Look for the end of the worm that's wider. That's where the mouth is. See, that looks like a narrow end and a wide end. So which side is the mouth? Do you remember what it just said? The wider end, right? Yeah. Gooey mucus covers the earthworms. It keeps their skin moist. It also helps them slide through the soil. That's what makes it shiny. Where do earthworms live? Earthworms can live almost anywhere in the world, except where the ground is too dry or too frozen. Earthworms live in underground burrows. Look, it's almost like it's in a knot, isn't it? In the winter, earthworms sleep or hibernate deep underground. They dig deeper when it starts getting colder. Watch the ground after it rains. You may see lots of earthworms because the ground is wet. Usually it's hard for them to be above ground. The sun is too strong. It may dry them out. As soon as the ground dries, the earthworm will go back underground. Yep. More and more earthworms. Earthworms come above ground to mate too. There are no male or female worms. Each worm is both male and female, but you still need 2 worms to make babies. After the worms mate, they lay eggs. They use mucus to make a cocoon. The cocoon covers the eggs and keeps them safe inside. When baby worms hatch, they are tiny and white. Then their skin turns dark. They are ready to get to work in the garden. Look at that cocoon. It's tiny on a hand. Now you know these hard-working garden critters help us in many ways. It's a good thing there are earthworms. Look at that. That frog is eating that earthworm, right? Earthworms are good for making soil healthy, helping plants grow, and providing food for animals like birds and frogs. Creature feature fun. When an earthworm is cut in 2, it may be able to regenerate or grow a new head or a new tail. That's interesting. Most earthworms are small. One of the largest earthworms is the giant Gippsland earthworm. It lives in Australia and is 3 feet long. Oh my goodness, look at that person holding a giant earthworm in Australia. That's amazing. In some countries, people eat earthworms and they like them. Would you like to taste an earthworm if it got cooked for you? I don't know if I would be brave. There are thousands of different kinds of earthworms, including red wrigglers and night crawlers, which are used for fishing bait. These ones in this picture are red wrigglers. Here's a joke for you. Are you ready for this? What do you get if you cross a worm with an elephant? Any guesses? Very big holes in your garden. Ha ha. Okay, one more. Let's see if you can guess it. How can you tell which end of a worm is which? We kind of know that answer, right? But let's see the answer to this joke. Tickle in the middle and see which end laughs. Is that how you really tell which end is which? I think it's tricking us. Ooh, in this picture, which habitat is right for an earthworm? Is it A or B? Which one do you think the earthworm could live in better? The garden or the frozen tundra? What do you think? A, of course, right? In the garden is the perfect spot for earthworms. Okay, I got to the last page, and it is the second to last page, and it's another important fact for that most nonfiction books have. It's called a glossary. And that gives you little definitions of words in case you didn't know what those meant, like bristles or burrow or cocoon or mucus. It gives you more information about those words. That's what lots of nonfiction books have. And the last part, many nonfiction books have an index. And in the index, if you're thinking, I wonder if this book talks about earthworm babies. So you look, oh, it says babies. And then it says 22 or 25. So you know, if you go to page 22 or 25, you'll learn information about earthworm babies. Or think about, I wonder if it talks about tunnels. Do they build tunnels? Oh, page 6 and page 9 talk about tunnels. So the index will tell you where you can find different information in the book. It's set up a little differently than the table of contents, but they're both useful for different reasons. I hope you learned something new about worms today, and I'll see you next time, friends. Bye-bye.